Welcome back to Paz Pod, Series 2, Episode 1. Phil, are you excited?
Yeah, you got there. Those big numbers. Yeah, it's good to be back in it. We've been planning / putting this off for a couple of weeks, and we couldn't put it off any further. So here we are.
No, we had fans asking every week, didn't we, about when we were coming back, what was happening. So we thought we might as well get on the airwaves and let people know. So
Yeah, my DMs have been absolutely rammed, mate. I thought we'd be able to.
no capacity. We're busy boys. So Phil, what's been going on the last few weeks of rugby?
So we've had three three season games now. We've managed to lose all three, and we've managed to lose all three. The first two games were quite close, losing to Doncaster Phoenix 16-10 in a close game. Coming away from an away game with a bonus point, I guess, was not too bad. Bit of a frustrating game for us. We didn't play well in the first half. Second game, we lost to DK at home in the last play of the game, which again was quite a frustrating finish to the game. And then I think it's fair to say, we played Newport South on Saturday at Newport, and they were phenomenal. Probably the best team we've played at this level, other than Bourneville so far. And they just really kind of showed their ability and their class. The lads took at it well all game, but they were a very good team, and we had a few lads missing. But to be honest, I think for me, Newport, having not seen everyone so far this year, but heard reports about most, are by far and away the best team in the league.
Yeah, I think they're already prepping as a squad to go up again, aren't they? Upper level. I mean, I'd be shocked if they didn't this year. But that was. I remember talking to Nathan on Tuesday night that even the front five were very handy rugby players, ball carrying and skills and stuff. And it's just not something you always see at any level, is it? Really, until you get to the proper pro.
Not at all. All the front five could play a bit, and they've been very fortunate to get some good players into that spot where I think quite a few clubs at our level are struggling for front rowers, to be honest. Thanks to certain sources that Bridgnorth are struggling a bit in the front three. We've got limited numbers there, and there's other clubs as well, locally and in our league, that are struggling for front three players.
Dying breed. But because of like you said, we're missing people, and also a lack of front rowers. We've had some lads which maybe if everyone was fit had not had a chance to step up to the plate and get the chance to play first at this level. So with the lads that have stepped up, who's kind of stood out for you as a player that has come on a lot and has really earned his place?
I think from Saturday especially, we had Zane, Ben Allen, Ed James not making his first team debut, but making his first team debut outside of the front row. So it's basically like a new debut. And I think that's it for debuts. But, they've all contributed. Ben Allen was just superb when he came off the bench. And I think he's now, and this might be premature when we say this, but he's torn his PCL in his knee, or it looks like he has. He did that on Saturday. And for those who don't know, Ben is a farmer, has done 3 days on the farm plus a training session before seeing Kim and wondering why his knee was hurting.
But does that mean he's at the ploughing match?
Oh, no, I'm sure it's his. Well, I don't know. It's his right leg. So
I don't know how to plough, but I've heard you might need at least one leg.
Yeah, so, well, it's all done GPS now, isn't it? They pretend like they were doing it themselves, but it's all GPS.
Is that true?
I have no idea, Tom.
I watched Clarkson's Farm and they made it look hard.
Yeah, I think Clarkson can make anything look hard, can't he?
No comment. One player before we move on, I've heard the games he's played, he's been incredible. He's been on here before, and there were some extras after training last night, and he put a decent shift in. Tell me about Lockie this weekend just gone, and the weekend's gone playing, because I've heard he's been kind of a standout player this season.
Lockie is an enigma. I think is one way to describe him. For those who don't know Lockie, if you've seen The Simpsons and you have the German exchange student, that is Lockie in size and general squeakiness. He has done phenomenally well. You forget that he's still very young, and playing in the front row is not easy, whatever age. But he holds his own in the scrummage, and 18 months off for any front rower is a calorific struggle. And I think as we get back into the swing of things, Lockie's only going to get better and better. So here's the hoping that Lockie continues to improve and we continue to benefit from his ability.
There's a definite few kg plus on that front row over the last 2 months. I don't want to add 2 years. I don't want to point any fingers. But some people have got big.
There is some weight having been gained. Yeah.
Gained. See, I can see this now. I've lost, so I can say what I want.
Yeah.
Fucking off the rugby.
Agreed.
New podcast, new season. It's going to feel like a new podcast as well. New format.
It's going to be very different. It's going to be very different. We're not going to be doing too many hour-long interviews with people. Yeah. Praise the Lord.
We're done boring each other, our guests, and our fans. So short and snappy.
We will have plenty more interviews with people around the club. Just quick, short snippets about the weekend coming, and a little bit more sort of Paviers-centric stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, we will be doing other things with guests from outside the club a lot as well. Tom has been working very hard to line up some interviews with people, and we've got a few more in the pipeline as well that we're going to work on. So they'll be sort of glittered in throughout the season.
Specials.
Yeah.
Bonus pods.
Yeah. Bonus pods.
Bonus pods.
You have to pay on our Twitch for it or whatever people do nowadays.
I've got a Twitch. I need a beer. That's good, and we're gonna try and talk a little bit more about what's going on in the league as well, just because it's actually a very good league, and there's some very good teams in there playing some very sexy rugby. I imagine. Not played it, not watched it really, but it'd be good to get roundups. Shall we invite our first guest in?
Yeah.
So we are here with the aptly named Weasel Chat. John C, how you doing?
Oh, I see you.
I'm wanker. No, I'm good, thank you, Johnson. I'm good, thank you, John.
Good.
Before we head any further, for those who don't know, and it will shock many of our thousands of listeners, John's got married, so congratulations officially on the pod. Good shout out. Thanks for showing me your ring. How's it going?
Yeah, no, all good. All good, really, yeah. It's good to be back in the swing of it, and having a regular Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday again.
I meant the marriage. How's the marriage? It's great getting back in the swing of things, actually.
Marriage is great.
Okay. How's rugby getting on?
Yeah, it's good to be back in the swing of it for the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Sound. Phil, you best take over because I'm already annoyed at him.
So, Johnny, I think it's going to be upon you to let us know how, in a little bit of detail, our season has gone so far.
So, in not much detail, it's played 3, lost 3. But it's I think the last game in particular against Newport was weirdly, despite losing 64-7, probably some of the best phase play with the new plan that we put in, especially for that first 20 minutes. But we just got schooled by a very capable, well-drilled opposition who quite clearly decided to defend that week and just punished us. But I think we're definitely slow to get back into into the swing of it. I think we could certainly do with getting a bit of our general fitness up a little bit and just being match fit and sharp. But yeah, it's two tight losses and one heavy loss against a team that probably will go and be right up there at the end of the league and vying for promotion. So it's, not the best start, but certainly, there's positives that we can take.
So obviously, there's been a bit of a change this year to the laws in rugby, World Rugby's wisdom, rather.
Yeah.
You fancy yourself as a bit of a kicker.
You just fancy yourself,
and you fancy yourself. What are your? How do you feel about these new laws?
I'd like the refs to know them. We got a clear 50-22 while I was about 5 yards inside our half on the last weekend's game, and the ref's response when I asked him was, "Oh, I didn't check where you were stood."
Oh Christ!
Which wasn't the best response, especially when you were already 21-0 down in that game. But I like the new laws. I think it's going to promote either better kicking rather than boring up and unders and chase. Or if you don't fancy kicking it because there's a load of defenders in the backfield, hopefully there's a bit of space to throw the ball out wide. So I like the 50-22 rule. I don't particularly like the goal line dropout, especially when you get held up over the line. I think that's a bit of a punishment. Like we had some good attacking phases, for example, at the weekend, and got held up over the line, and their fly half can drop kick it 50 yards. So our good attacking play gets rewarded with being sent back into our own half.
Yeah, I agree on that one. I think that's a really bad rule change, personally.
I think that's really harsh. I get the other reasons why you have a goal line dropout, but for being held up over the line when you're trying to attack, I think that's really harsh.
Yeah, because the justification on that was, like most of us, was to speed things up, but the only reason you're kicking is because there's no one there.
Yeah.
And so it's not going to speed anything up.
Yeah, it's not. And again, you're then going to be in a position where you're going to be having to trust forward to realise, am I close to the line? Do I have a realistic chance of scoring? And when you've got so many people in such a small space, it's impossible for them to make that decision. I think it's a very harsh response.
Yeah, no, agreed.
And what are the other ones? Go on, Johnny.
Well, they're going to be kicking ones, aren't they?
And there's
the no latch,
no latch or no double latch.
I'll be honest.
Do you not know that one?
Well, no, I may have known it. It's not necessarily part of my game plan, Phil.
So there's no double latch, which is fine. I don't think that's an issue.
Doesn't affect me.
I don't think it was a massive problem personally either, outside of international rugby.
No. I think the how to clear out a ruck, I think refs haven't really done anything on it. All I've seen is a focus on the tackler, and if they can try and get the tackler out of the way, great. But if there's an inch of lingering, as if you're the tackler, you're going to get penalised.
That's been pretty hot, hasn't it, so far?
But I've not seen anything about second rows coming in South African style and murdering people at a ruck.
No, I noticed that we've been getting away with a lot more, or we haven't been getting away with. The oppositions have been getting away with a lot more off the feet at the ruck.
Yeah.
That seems to be play on again. Another law is the. There was a fifth one, and it's gone. There's obviously not attacking like above the shoulder at the ruck, which Johnny just mentioned, and there was another one, but it can't be that big a deal if I can't remember it. Oh, the roll thing. You can't roll.
Lift the leg.
Oh, lift the leg.
Lifting the leg, isn't it? Yeah.
And you're not allowed to do an extra roll anymore either.
Which again, in the 3 games we've had, I've not seen any ref pay any attention to it.
No, and it's hard though, because actually what you're trying to do is retrain people who can't be retrained not to lift the leg. That's just an automatic thing, isn't it? Things like that, surely.
Yeah, but
Good
But
input.
again,
Thanks, John.
I'd say, how much of a problem is that at community level rugby?
Not at all. Not at all. It's I guess it's to prevent the high list which flip. Talk about international rugby. Just on a side note, have you seen the training squad with Lee and Eddie Jones kind of putting two fingers up to George Ford and the Vunipolas today?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
But then the day after, you also see a headline saying, "Yeah, I won't be the coach in 2 years."
Yeah. So it's not really his
So
decision.
it's a bit of an interesting one where he goes and picks a squad for the future and says, "Yeah, I won't be your coach."
Yeah.
But I like it. I think it's 2 years too late.
Yeah.
And I do feel for George Ford, because I think he actually is a fly half that England should have been able to get a lot more out of, especially with the pack that Eddie Jones has always picked in terms of trying to assert dominance. George Ford plays pretty well, and I think that was shown in the Tigers Chiefs game at the weekend, where Fordy's got a dominant pack and he's just absolutely controlling the game. Maybe it's Farrell more than Ford that was a problem in that setup. But
yeah, maybe. I also think the game plan just didn't fit Ford as well.
Yeah,
at all.
But otherwise, I think it's an exciting team. I think the likes of like Louis Liner and Adam Radwan.
Mate, did you watch any Prem Rugby this week?
Absolute stinky feet.
He's got stinky feet, everybody. That's exclusive. Stinky feet. Also got great footwork. So, yeah.
But I mean,
incredible.
if we're playing with a backline that's going to actually try and unleash these sort of players on teams, great, let's go for it. I just don't want to see Adam Radwan and Louis Liner in an England team where all they do is kick chase.
Yeah.
Agreed. Amen.
Yeah. This is Phil's main anger about international rugby every time we talk about it.
Yeah.
But surely these new rules will aid them a bit. I know there's going to be a lot more trying to hit the 22 and do the 50-22, but they're not just going to kick pointlessly.
Well, it just means Ben Youngs can box kick more.
Loosely termed box kick more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. But again, I like the fact that the nines he's got in this Randall and even Rafi Quirk from Sale. You've got some absolute wheels.
Yeah, and there's obviously people there who aren't. Yeah, there's obviously people there who are not being picked because they're unavailable at the minute and what have you. But it looks like the core of that squad are going to be a young, exciting team.
Yeah,
cool.
No, I'm broadly excited by it on paper, as long as they actually play like they play in the Premiership for England, are told to play in that way.
Yeah, maybe Eddie is the answer to go. I know he listens to the pod, so fuck off, Eddie. Phil, have you got any more questions for Johns?
No, I'm sure we'll touch base with Johnny throughout the season, probably more than most people would prefer, but he's always free because he's got no friends.
Always free. Before you go, John, so have you got any paper on your desk which you can screw up and do an over the shoulder basket without looking? And if you get it in first time, I'll buy you a pint on Saturday.
Have you got your wedding license to hand?
I do, but I'm not going to do that.
He's laminated it and taken 4 copies, so she can't get rid of it. Just use one of your sticky tissues. The basketball.
He's got the ball.
It didn't go in.
Like it went in, but it didn't go anywhere near.
It didn't go in. So I'm safe. Thanks for the pint on Johnny Saturday. We'll speak to you soon then, Johnson. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, boys. Ta-ra.
Ta-ra. So that was John T. A good little insight there to what has happened. Sounds like yourself still relatively optimistic for the season.
Yeah, I think we have come out of the gate a bit slow. It's a mixture of reasons. It's been a very strange off-season for us, with a lot of sort of people away and other things going on, and that's not too surprising considering. So, I'll be happy if we took September as a bit of a run-up and then properly got into it. But we need to start performing better than we are, and I think everyone is fully aware of that. So I don't see there any issues, but it will come hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. Looks good in training, and that's kind of where you start building the foundations, isn't it? So we can't really ask for more. I mean, we could ask for more people to come training. So if people want to come training, 7:15 for 7:30 start. Am I right?
Yeah, get there for 7 o'clock.
Yeah, there for 7 o'clock. We'll try and start as close to 7 o'clock as possible. On a Tuesday and a Thursday, so that'd be good. So what else is going on at PAVs in the next few months, Phil?
So we have the beer festival coming up in November. I think that's the 5th, 6th and 7th.
Yeah, so the plan for that is there's going to be a game on the Friday night to open it up against a travelling social team is what they've labelled themselves. They got very excited to hear there was a prospect to play at a beer festival. So I think they may be there for the beer, but they'll play rugby with it. So that'd be good, a beer festival, local breweries.
Yeah, definitely. We've got Little Ruggers on a Sunday morning with Hannah Eggleshaw. No relation to me. And we've got ladies rugby on the Thursday night.
Yeah.
And we have girls rugby on the Wednesday night.
Indeed.
And we have a Halloween party in and around Halloween. I haven't got the exact date to hand, but I'm guessing it's 31st of October some point.
Yeah, and I think that one especially, I mean, the beer festival will be family inclusive, but obviously by nature, not all of the family can drink. But the Halloween party is definitely focused as a family event. So if you've got little ones and maybe they've not been at the club before, it'll be a good time to get people up and introduced to the club and meet people. So that'd be a good one. I don't think I know of any other social events. There is a Christmas thing in the pipeline. Don't want to say too much. It's a long way away. But starting Christmas shopping, kids. Shall we move on to next week's or this week's games, tomorrow's games, as we now go out on a Friday, Phil?
It will be tomorrow's games when this is released. Yet we'll for that we'll bring in our next guest.
We will do. So here we are with Captain Doug, our first ever guest that was on PASPod. So it's actually quite nice to have you as our final guest on Series 2 at 1. So how are you doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Any personal gossip from the last 2 years?
Gossip, news. Married.
Going
very well. I'm sure you've just seen her just pop in and say hello with a genie and Aladdin face mask on. So she's
questionable.
Yeah.
Wouldn't say Disney endorsed that mask, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it's up to interpretation, but scared. And baby on the way in February. So
amazing.
Well, another team member in this Midlands household. So yeah, happy.
In 18 years.
Yeah.
I'm retired by then.
Yeah, Phil. You'd have retired another 3 times by then. That's fine. Phil, you've got some questions for Doug.
Have I? Yeah. So if you could give us a lowdown on Johnny's given us what's happened so far this season.
Nice.
And so you're going to tell us about what's happening this weekend.
I'll call back the genie then. Yeah. Well, we've got another good challenge this weekend. None Eton at home. They've been fairly consistent. Should be a decent challenge up front, which we seem to be facing quite consistently. Good playmaking, kicking 10 as well to be expected. But I think it would be a nice return for the guys to sort of start enjoying the rugby again. It's been, I guess, not necessarily a shock to the system, but I think we've been uptight on our performances and sticking to structures and trying to get that right. I think maybe we're just overlooking the fact that we play rugby to enjoy ourselves, and actually when we play our best rugby is when that's our main intention. So Fingers crossed, everything should go our way on Saturday, and we'll have a lovely time of it.
Second home game for us.
Yeah, second home game. I think also there's a lot of different stuff that people are getting into the full swing of things with like different sort of I guess backroom traditions that we've all missed, and everything's sort of getting going again, and we're turning into a well-oiled machine. So especially at home.
Especially at home.
Two-bit fortress. Amazing. What do you going just before we let you go? As captain this year, what do you want to see from a first team point of view, and also from a club point of view? What would your vision be for this season?
I think we're a quality side. I'd like to see us feeling comfortable with the rugby we're putting together, and actually be proud of it come the end of the season. I have let's say an attitude that I'm proud of, that I would say every competition that you go into, whether it be one game on a Saturday or your entire campaign, that you can compete for everything. I think you can get caught up on, different names and the opposition and previous results, and people try and put numbers on a quality of play, whether that be what their team's willing to fork out to pay them. I feel quite averse to that, and I'd like that to be reflected in our results as well. But some things that keep close, thoughts keep close with that. I just want the guys to be expressing themselves and feeling comfortable with that, and ultimately really enjoying the rugby and the stuff they're putting together at the end of the day.
Yeah,
I would say that's club wide. I'd like to see, a bit of an advocate for social. I'm sure that's been covered before. Hopefully this Saturday, all 3 teams across the club, or 4 teams across the club really, we'll start spending a lot more time together off the park as well as possible on the park as well. So
yeah, definitely. There's a few long overdue socials. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited for April's pub golf are you?
Well, it will be. That was technically last year, the first year in the last decade where there hasn't been an actual pub golf. So that coincides with people. Obviously, we had one in lockdown, which is people effectively moving to different virtual bars, as it was. So I think it might take a different direction, but I would say that we can.
And how will you be approaching that pub golf, considering you'll have a 2-month-old child, Doug?
Can you repeat the question? Give me time to think of an answer.
Yeah, so you're having a baby in February.
Yeah.
Pub golf's in April.
Yeah.
That's a 2-month window. 2-month-olds are savage. And how are you going to deal with a hangover and a child on the Monday or Sunday?
I personally think you can't hear any heckling, can you? No.
I
don't think the mic's picking it up. I think hangovers are a state of mind, and I'll try and persuade her that she won't be hungover.
Who won't be cursed with you?
Pencil it in there.
No.
Christening in the morning, rugby the afternoon, and that way it's just wetting the baby's head and everyone can deal with it on Monday.
I told her time and time again not to get carried away with it, but we'll see if she, takes heed or not. We'll watch this space.
Well, yeah, we know what she can be like. Phil, any more from you for Doug?
No, not really. I thought I was tuning in for a serious chat about, your guys' personal life. I was pleasantly surprised when it was the past pod, to be quite honest. I don't think I was ready for anything too heavy.
No,
I was going to come to you in a minute, Doug. But Phil, have you got anything more for Doug?
no. I'll see you tomorrow night. See you round.
Yeah, see you at training, guys.
Thanks, Dougie.
Cheers.
So that was Captain Doug's view on marriage, working for Nath, and rugby. People didn't witness what Kirst looked like in a genie face mask. Wasn't the most attractive I've seen anyone, to be fair. Are you okay, Phil? Yeah, I saw you got the shakes. You were getting a bit scared. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm back.
Good.
I'm back.
Good. Let's move on from that scare we all had. Onto rugby. So Saturday, ones are at home to Nuneaton, twos are waiting confirmation, and threes are at home to Melbourne, and Academy away to Mansfield, I think, something like that.
Sounds about right.
The Academy away, and hopefully we can have 3, if not 4, big W's to celebrate this weekend, which should be good because we've not had that yet this season. So we're waiting on that. So hopefully this time next week we'll all be even more excited to be back than we are this week. I know it's a new season, Phil, of both rugby and of the pod. Do you have any wise words to send us out with today?
Let's not change. Let's not change a legendary part of the show. No, I don't.
No, okay. I thought that was that one of your wise words was don't change what's already working. But in that case, mate, I'll see you tomorrow at training. But for those who are listening to this on Friday, I'll see you at the rugby on Saturday. See ya.